Hello everyone, this is Ilias Leonidas, and we're starting a new series on the channel. This new series on the channel is going to be Pokemon Yellow. And now Pokemon Yellow is honestly probably the earliest game I can remember playing. I was probably about 5 when I started playing this, and it brings back so many memories. It's probably been about 5 years since I have played Gen 1, and it's probably been 10 years, maybe 8, since I played specifically Pokemon Yellow. So I am going to be a bit rusty. Let's get into it. The amazing, wonderful, awesome Pikachu start screen. I absolutely love it. Brings back so many memories. Now I did have another game. I actually tried to test it out and create stuff, and unfortunately it went very, very horribly wrong. So, with that in mind, we are going to start a new game, and hopefully in our new game, so with that we're going to start a new game. Professor Oak. Now, in the animes, it doesn't look quite as here. Professor Oak always looked like my grandpa. Professor Oak has always been my favorite professor, and it's a weird connection, but growing up I always thought my grandpa was giving me the Pokemon to start off my journey. So I guess I kind of thought I was blue, except I didn't really like blue, but I like the idea of Professor Oak being my grandpa, because he looks exactly like my grandpa in certain ways. It's pretty shocking. This world is inhabited by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for fights. Myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. Okay, first, what is your name? So our options is Yellow, Ash, Jack. We're going to do new name, and we're going to go with Leo. I have a couple different names I use when I play different Pokemon games, different languages. I love to play Pokemon games in different languages, and so I always have different names in each of the different languages. So we're gonna go with Leo. Right, so your name is Leo. That's correct. Grandpa. No, we should say Professor Oak. This is his grandson. He's been your rival. It's your baby. What is his name? His name, there's Blue, Gary, John, somebody from my own personal life. I won't really explain it, but these are their initials, and I always really didn't get along with them. So I always used them as my rival, especially in the early Pokemon games, because the rivals were always jerks. So, nostalgia. It's been a while since I've been here. Let's grab the potion. Okay. Head downstairs. It'd be nice. We're gonna talk to our mom. Especially in the first gen games, it was really weird how you just left your mom. Oak's gonna stop us. There is Pikachu. I always loved Pikachu's character model in Pokemon Yellow. Just love the way it looks. Nostalgia probably plays a huge factor. Okay, so here's our Pikachu. There's no genders in the first gen, so I would always just name my Pikachu Zeus. I loved Greek mythology and mythology in general, but also I love the Hercules movie. So Zeus was always on my brain. Okay, we got our Pikachu, Zeus, and we're gonna have our first rival battle. JD wants to fight. He sends out the Eevee that we were supposed to get. That would have been a pretty interesting start. I know the Let's Go Eevee games, you get to start as Eevee, but that would have been an interesting first go if you had an Eevee instead. I'm gonna use a Thunder Shock right now. Got a critical hit, that's gonna be really important. What I remember a lot about Gen 1 is a lot of critical hits, a lot of accuracy, sand attacks, lowering accuracy, and a lot of misses. And I also remember a ton of grinding. It's good old Generation 1. Eevee does Tail Whip, so we're gonna defeat Eevee. I actually, growing up, never knew you could lose to Eevee, because I got lucky and never experienced it. And then we just experienced it again here. Speak of the devil. So this is the second time ever I have lost to the rival in the first battle. I learned that the first time when I was recording before, but I lost all of the audio, so this is me redoing all of this. But I guess I learned that it's definitely not a scripted event, and unfortunately, yeah, you can lose multiple times. Oh, sorry, Pikachu. Unfortunately, we lost our first battle. That makes me hate our rival even more, so I think that's actually a great way to start it. It means we gotta get back at him. Pikachu won't even acknowledge us. Dang, Pikachu. I think that's what I loved so much about this game. There was so much personality in Pikachu. You know, and of course, it's just based off the anime and everyone trying to be Ash, but it just felt even more personable than the original games, Red and Blue, or Red and Green, depending on what nation you lived in. But yeah, I loved the personality that just having Pikachu and the encounters had in general, and especially, which they did a really great job in the Gen 2 remakes, just having Pikachu follow you was such an amazing thing, and such a cool thing in a Pokemon game. We're gonna fight a little bit. I think we're gonna try to go straight through and get everything, and we'll just come back and grind. There's gonna be a lot of grinding in this series. I apologize. I'll try to be as entertaining as I can. But that's what made me love and hate Generation 1, and specifically Yellow, so much, was there's a lot of level spikes occasionally, and especially having a Pikachu with the first gym. Gotta catch some other Pokemon, gotta get them all leveled up. And unlike the new games, which some people hate, but I absolutely love experience share, because boy, when you don't have experience share, it's a long grind, man. Oops, I jumped down. Yeah, my long break in between playing Yellow the last time is really showing, because I don't remember it quite as well as I did. Okay, we got the package for Professor Oak. I'm gonna go back and give it to him. Unfortunately, we still don't have Pokeballs, so we can't really catch anything else. So, we need to get Pikachu happy, which helps us recruit some of the other party members. And the way to get Pikachu happy is by leveling him up in battles, making sure he doesn't faint like our first battle, and also giving him healing items like potions. Okay, we're getting our Pokédex. The one bad thing in Pokemon Yellow is you don't get given any Pokeballs, so you have to go buy them, which is kind of a big deal because it's a good amount of money just to start the game off that you have to pay to get Pokeballs. Plus, those 10 free Pokeballs can really make a difference early on. Catch, well, usually 1 or 2, but enough Pokemon to help you kind of get a decent sized party that can help you, not have one Pokemon that gets knocked out and have to, faint and kind of restart or go back type thing. He says he's gonna go get a town map, and we are gonna go to the same place and get a town map from his wonderfully lovely sister, who is not a complete a-hole like her brother. Got our town map. It's not like we really desperately need it, just because his Gen 1 Pokemon is not the most winding path. It's pretty linear somewhat, the story, but it's the first generation. It gets a pass on some things because it created a lot of things. It was the trailblazer. I was hoping to get the one shot there, but nope. I love Pikachu's sprite from the front. Pikachu from the back in Pokemon Yellow looks like a chubby little dude. So we're gonna continue up. Hopefully this is the lower level Pidgey. Yeah, okay. Occasionally there's a level 6 Pidgey, I think. And that's the one we would like to catch, honestly. That one would help us out a ton. And we also need to level up a bit before we go find our rival. I think their Pokemon are like 8 or 9. So we need to make sure we get up to like level 8 or 9 before we go over towards the route to the Elite Four and fight our rival for that second battle. So we get Pokeballs. We're going to buy... Yeah, see, $2,000 right off the bat. We're going to spend it all. 15 Pokeballs. Why not? I'd like to catch as many Pokemon as I can in Pokemon Yellow. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to necessarily... I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon we can't get, like Meowth, Arbok, and Weezing. But I would like to try to catch as much as we can. Hopefully we get the one shot here now, since it's a little bit lower. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Super effective. And we finally get a level. encountered a wild we encountered a wild Rattata. There's so many different ways apparently to pronounce that name. That's how I pronounce it. So sorry if it's not correct, or it's not correct to you. And I think we're gonna catch one. I want our first, or technically second Pokemon we get, but the first one we actually catch on our own to be a Pidgey. That is what I'd always do when I was younger. As soon as I could catch another Pokemon, get a Pidgey. It's probably my all-time favorite bird Pokemon. And I was always so torn because I really love Pidgey, but I actually also really love Sparrow. But I remember because I was really young, Sparrow was the bad guy in the anime, so I was like, I don't want to have a Sparrow because everyone will think I am the bad guy. There we go. So we have a level 5 Pidgey. We're going to use Thunder Shock. As long as we don't get a critical, I think we're going to catch this Pidgey. There we go. We're going to do a little bit of damage on us. Hopefully it's not too much. We should be able to survive at least one more attack. Going to use a Pokeball. Perfect. We got our Pidgey. And we got the second member of our wonderful, awesome team. Do you want to give it a nickname? Yes. And just like Pikachu, I would always catch a Pidgey, and there's no genders in Gen 1 really. I mean, they're like Nidorino, Nidoran, Nidoran, and Nidorina. I would always catch a Pidgey and name it Nike. And I don't know when I started naming my Pidgeys Nike. I feel like I was a little bit older than when I would start naming my Pikachu Zeus, because Zeus was an easy name to know. I learned really young. I don't remember how young though. I feel like it was 8, somewhere between like 8 to 10, about Nike. And it's like Nike's the winged goddess of victory. So I always wanted a female Pidgey, and she would be Nike. In general too, a lot of the Pokemon I catch, I always name them after some mythology. As I've gotten older, I've kind of expanded the mythos and named them after different things, but especially when I was younger, loved Greek mythology. My family is Greek, if that isn't sometimes obvious from my channel or my channel's name, but I absolutely loved growing up learning about anything and everything related to my family's culture and history, and especially the mythology, because it's just so interesting and very creative and very weird and disturbing at times too, but overall very interesting to learn about. Let's check. We got our Pokemon healed up. Pikachu doesn't really care that much about us either way. I think unfortunately losing that fight at the beginning, like I said, I really didn't know for the longest time that was even possible. So I think losing that fight at the beginning really hurts. Because I don't remember Pikachu ever really hating me when I would play. I remember at the beginning he wasn't really happy, but I don't remember him being super sad all the time. Nidoran. It is Nidoran. I don't know why I said Nidorina. Nidoran is the original female version. Let's do Thundershock. No, Nidoran I didn't really catch ever. The same with Nidorino. Never really caught them. I was gonna use Thundershock again. Didn't quite mean to do that, but and she got critical. We'll take the XP. It would have been nice to capture the Nidoran though. I think definitely going forward, what I'll do is I still want to record everything I do. But I think certain episodes I will literally post grind, and that's just it. And the episode might be very, very grind heavy. Just so you guys are well aware. Even this first one is going to be pretty grind heavy as well. And actually what we're going to do is we're not going to catch another Pokemon, I think, until probably Caterpie in Viridian Forest, because I think we can catch every Pokemon that's out here somewhere else. And also any other Pokemon we would catch, I don't think are really going to be used on our team too much. Now Sparrow, loved you so much. I just never ever used you because, again, just you were the bad guy in the anime, so young me was just like, nope, not gonna get associated with that Sparrow. Also, it was a little strange because I had a relative, an uncle, a great uncle, I guess, that was named Sparrow as well, so kind of a weird connection. Mankey. So again, I liked Mankey too. I think largely due to the anime. Never used Mankey much. I don't really know why. I don't know. Just never really into fighting types too much. And I think I had just a lot of other Pokemon in Gen 1 that I really loved that would make it onto my team. And unfortunately, Mankey would just he was never quite there to get on it. Level 8 Pikachu, and he learned Thunder Wave, which is perfect, so now we can paralyze people pretty much guaranteed. Another Mankey encounter. I want more Spearows and Pidgey. I think in this area it's only Spearow. They're a lot easier for us to take out, and usually in one hit. And I also apologize, I am not planning on making this game a speedrun, so at times it will be a little slow. I enjoy the grind, that's what helps me reminisce and have my nostalgia for Pokemon Yellow. I feel like that was part of the charm of this game to me, was the idea that you really worked to make Pikachu stronger, because yeah, Pikachu isn't really the strongest Pokemon. He's pretty weak, and especially terrible at the first gym, but it felt so rewarding, especially farther down the game when your Pikachu was so strong and powerful, and especially just being Brock. Just being Brock was enough. Nidoran, I don't know, I keep forgetting that the names of the smallest forms, they're just color difference and they have the same name. It's just their evolved forms have the different names, but for some reason it's not sticking in my head. Nidoran, the male version, I did not use either. I actually, for the longest time, would never beat the Elite Four. I would go through the entire game and beat it all 8 gym badges, and then I'd be done. And after a while, I'd restart the game and play a new one. And it was a weird thing I constantly did. And I think the reason why I constantly did it is I love the travel and the experience of going to all the gyms and seeing the different types and stuff. The whole idea of being like the champion of everything and the elite, winning the Elite Four and being like the regional leader. And I was like, not really my thing. Also, I enjoyed the exploring part and the whole idea of being like the champion of the Elite Four meant you kind of had to like stick around and stuff, which I love to travel and go places. So it's actually a really interesting thing now I'm thinking of it. It's like a psychological analysis of my younger self. My younger self knew I would always wanted to travel and go places, so I think subconsciously I never beat the Elite Four because I was like, I don't want to be tied down here. It's a weird thought for a young kid to have, and I'm not sure I really had it, but this is what my psychological analysis of my past playings of Pokemon Yellow lead me to believe. So I don't understand why we keep getting all level 2s. I thought some of them were higher level than that, because we could have gone back to the other grass and gotten higher level Pokemon than this. We're gonna go back to the other grass just because I'm sick of getting level 2 Pokemon, and I'm sick of them being Nidoran or Nidoran, both Nidorans, blue and purple. What's ironic too is for as much as I played Pokemon Yellow, I cannot tell you the amount of times I played this freaking game when I was younger. I really stuck with a lot of certain Pokemon. I had the ones I loved, and I would almost never use any other. Like, I probably only ever used consistently 10 Pokemon maybe. And any other Pokemon I'd be like, nah, don't really care about. Please be a higher level than 2. No. I mean, the only good thing is we get a little higher level, at least if these low level, and he survives off of a level 2 Rattata, and he survives against the level 8 Pikachu's Thundershock. Unfortunately, I think we might end up running out of PP for our moves. Luckily it's a Pidgey, so it should get one shot. Hopefully that's enough XP. Yep, there we go. So we got a level 9 Pikachu at least. I can't remember. I think it's 9 or 8 will be our rivals. Yeah, it's our rival's bird Pokemon. I think is level 9 or 8, which I think their Eevee's only level 7, which kind of doesn't make sense at all. But it's Pokemon Yellow. I love this game. I won't say it's a perfect game, but it's got its little quirks here and there. Yeah, our first battle with Nike, and it's against another Pidgey, which isn't quite as exciting. Now, unfortunately for Nike, I don't know how much in this particular playthrough will use it, and it's kind of true for a lot of my Pokemon Yellow playthroughs. I've typically kept my Pidgey with me the entire adventure, but very often they weren't super useful because I love getting all 3 of the starters. That's why I absolutely love playing Pokemon Yellow. That, and also because Sandshrew and Sandslash are not available in Pokemon Red, which I always preferred Red over Blue, even though I loved the color Blue. For some reason, I love Charizard so much. You can't get a Sandslash or Sandshrew in there, so I can get a Sandshrew or Sandslash in Yellow, and I can get all 3 starters, so always went with this game over the other 2. This is like the first Ultimate Edition that we saw. It's like the first Ultimate Edition in the first gen, kind of how Crystal or Emerald or Platinum was, which I honestly like that style more than what we kind of have now. I'm not the hugest fan of the kind of awkward dual series they have, so like I like Sun and Moon, but having the weird like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of just Game Freak and the Pokemon Company is trying to make more money instead of making like an Ultimate Edition. Because the Ultimate Edition I could always forgive because it was the Ultimate Edition, and it did include new things, and it kind of had like a cool setup, but Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon do not feel like Ultra Editions. They feel like just a second step in getting more money out of more people. We'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Sword and Shield. I'm hoping Sword and Shield goes back to the old formula, which was the whole having like an ultimate game, so like Sword and Shield, all the stupid memes with Pokemon Gun, but don't really want a Pokemon Gun, but having like a Sword and Shield and then Pokemon Bow, or they kind of, Sword and Shield I think is an alright name. Unfortunately Nike just passed up. I was hoping we could get lucky on that hit. We'll throw Zeus back in there just to get this XP. He'll do his thing, get the Thunder Shock, and he'll get not too bad amount of XP. Gonna have another encounter before we get out of here. It's a Pidgey. We're gonna fight it then. Should be able to just one-shot it. Then we're gonna go heal up and go fight our rival, and then I think we're gonna call it for the first part. Sorry if the first part's pretty long. Okay, so we're on our way to go face off against our rival. Before we go there, I want to see Pikachu is indifferent towards us right now. So I think, yeah, he starts off with a Sparrow or a Pidgey. I think it's a Spearow for some reason. Also, I realized that Spearow, I've been saying Sparrow at times too, but Spearow, yeah, he's level 9. Oh, I didn't realize I did not have Zeus at the head of our party. That shouldn't be too big of a deal since they're even levels. He's gonna growl at us, which is gonna reduce our attack. Hopefully he still does a decent amount. Yeah, we could have maybe one-shotted him if he didn't get the growl in. But we should be able to take care of him pretty easily. Oh, perfect. Nike got some decent sized XP. He's about to send out his Eevee. We're actually gonna keep Zeus in just because this is our rival. He beat us the first time. We're gonna let Zeus get some revenge here on his Eevee. I think we're definitely gonna have a different outcome this time. Oh, thank God he missed the sand attack because Gen 1 with the sand attack and accuracy misses. Oh my goodness, he took a good amount of chunk. And we should do it with this last Thunder Shock here. Perfect. And we get enough XP to go up to level 10. Leo defeated JD. We got our first taste of revenge against our rival after he beat us in the very opening. And now we beat him in the second one. Hopefully that's just the first of many times we beat the rival. And hopefully we don't lose any other times from this point on. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I think this is going to do it for the first part of our Pokemon Yellow Let's Play. This has been Ilias Leonidas. I'll see you guys in the next part. Ciao for now.